Yo, what is up, everybody? So I felt like today this video is something that is specifically designed to help people who are trying to start a business or people who are in the beginning of their business stage. So if you already have a full-blown business that's making a lot of money or making a good amount of money, this might not exactly be for you. It still could be, but I know a large portion of my audience is people who are trying to start a business or people who just started their first business. Let me tell you guys a story. When I first started my business, my first ever ecom business, I was so excited about making money, just like everybody else, because the reason you get into business is because you want to make money. So everybody sees the Shopify screenshots, everybody sees the gurus on the internet, everybody sees all of this shit. But then when you actually go to try and start, especially ecom, you realize there's a bunch of other steps involved. You have to create a Shopify account. You have to have documentation for that. You have to open a bank account. You need to have, payment processing. You need a place to collect payments. You need a bank to hold the money. Like, there's a lot of things on the back end that are not talked about in these guru videos. That crushed me because I spent longer than I should have running around trying to figure out the LLC situation, the state situation, because I was moving at that time, getting a business bank account, figuring out how that works, finding an accountant, figuring out how that works, bookkeeping, figuring out how that works, and like trying to manage all that before I was even making money. Like, it's a hassle, bro. Honestly, that is a hassle. So I had a great conversation with some great individuals, and I decided, you know what, let me make a quick video for my audience about how they can skate a lot of those problems with the back end bullshit with one simple change. Let me talk to you guys about Doola. Doola is one of the most unique companies I've ever met in my life. I've ever seen in my life. I've never really seen anything like this. And I know a lot of people, like, they push BS companies or they try to recommend certain things. I'm being dead serious, bro. Doola is a company that is a business in a box, which basically what they do for you is they will handle and streamline your entire back end process so you can focus on strictly making money. Let me explain. Doola's business model operates in three major components. First, what they do is they will formulate and create your LLC. So if you partner with Doola or you work with Doola, they will create the LLC for you. You'll obviously tell them the name of the LLC you want, where you want it registered. You got to give them the details. Then they will go and handle that so it's off of your back. Then, once you have your LLC created, Doola will go ahead and start doing your bookkeeping. So once you have your LLC and you start making money, Doola's going to handle your bookkeeping. Doola's going to handle your tax work. So now you have two of the most tedious levers of business and admin work off your back with the same company. So it's all streamlined. On top of that, Doola can also help you open up a business bank account. They have connections to several banks, such as Mercury Bank and a bunch of other banks, and they can go ahead on your behalf, obviously with you included in the conversation, go and create business bank accounts for your LLC. So let's just say you just started ecom, right? You start testing products, you're running ads, and then boom, you find your first winning product. You're a few months into the game or whatever, and now you start making some pretty serious money. You don't have any business back end set up. Instead of doing the BS that I was doing, where I ran around and I got an LLC from here and an accountant from here, bookkeeping from here, you can just go to Doola. Like, you can literally just go to Doola, be like, yo, I have an ecom store. We just started making 10 grand a month. I need your help. Doola's gonna come in, make sure the LLC is good. If you don't have one, create the LLC, go do the bookkeeping, set up your tax work, set up all of the admin stuff. They're gonna set up a business bank account if you don't have one, and all you have to do is continue running the ads and making money. You see, the reason why this is not victim of too good to be true is because Doola is the only place in the United States that has the ability to formate businesses, which means create LLCs and file your taxes. There's nowhere else that can actually do that. There's legality involved and there's certain rules that apply to companies that formulate LLCs and what they can and can't do with the tax side. Doola can actually formulate your LLC and handle all your bookkeeping and all your taxes. And I find it super interesting, bro. And I'm being dead serious when I say this. Like, you guys know my account. Anyone who follows me, like, everything I say is as genuine as possible. It is wild that now there's a company that's came along and figured out, okay, how about you just run the front end of your business? We'll handle the back end. You don't have an LLC? We got it. You don't have a bookkeeper? We got it. You don't have taxes? We got it. You don't have a bank account? Got it. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, my first accountant fucking destroyed me. I lost a ton of money because I hired a bad accountant, my fault, and then they were a bad accountant. So like, it was a headache. That's the only reason why I would ever speak on certain things to give you guys insight, is if something bad happened to me. And in this instance, like by switching or partnering or starting with Doola, it could make your business journey so much easier from the start, bro. Like substantially easier. Now, I know a lot of people might be a little hesitant because sometimes people are like, oh, I've never heard of this, or why is he saying this, or whatever, right? Doola knows this. Doola understands business. Doola's founder is a phenomenal guy, and they understand sometimes people are nervous. So what they do is they'll just give you a free consulting call. So you just hit up Doola, be like, hey, I'm interested in your service. Can we jump on a call? You don't got to pay anything. There's no deposit, nothing. They're just going to jump on a call with you, and they're going to be like, okay, tell us about your business. What's going on? What are the goals? What do we got to work on? What do you need? For free. And if you decide, nah, I don't think I want it, then they're just going to be like, okay, no problem. But if you do want it, they'll walk you through all the steps, and they'll set you up, and they'll handle all of it for free. They will handle your completely first call is 100% free. So you can just go feel out the business, figure out if it's something for you or not, without having to worry about spending money up front. Now, just because you might not have heard of Doola does not mean that everybody else hasn't already heard of it. Let me just kind of give you an overview of what's going on. First of all, $13 million in raised capital. So anybody who understands business knows how hard it is to raise money. You actually have to have a strong business idea with typically a strong foundation, a strong leader. You have to go in front of investors, do the pitch, the whole thing. They already raised $13 million. So there's $13 million worth of investors that are behind and invested in pushing this company. The second thing is they already have partnerships with Amazon, with Shopify, with Mercury Bank, with Gusto, a ton of other companies. Everybody in the online and e-commerce space is already tapped in with Doola. So it's not like this is some hole in the wall underground company. You just haven't heard of it yet, which is why I wanted to put you guys on game. But this has already been a thing for a long time, bro. And honestly, don't be shocked when it starts to become super, super, super mainstream and popular over the next 12 to 24 months. On top of all those partnerships and the investment and all of that, the founder, Arjun, phenomenal guy. I've met him personally. Dude's great. He's also been on TV, interviewed by the New York Stock Exchange channel. He's talking about Doola, what they're working with. He's been invited out to Shopify HQ to handle speeches out there and give keynotes there. Like, Doola is very quickly taking over this niche space of handling back-end systems of your e-com business. And it's amazing because it's so streamlined for beginners. One of the most difficult parts of, being in business as a beginner is setting up the admin stuff. So why would you go through the struggle of trying to put these pieces together yourself when you can just have a one-stop shop? Like, bro, you're gonna get your LLC, your business bank account, your bookkeeping, your tax, all of that is going to be right there. One-stop shop, one place. There's not 20 different contacts. There's not 20 different people handling your one company. Like, it's honestly such a no-brainer now that I'm at the stage that I'm at in business. Looking back, it's like, bro, that's a no-brainer for anybody who's just starting out. So I just wanted to jump on here, talk to my audience, talk to my guys, everybody here who's been tapped in and supporting me. I really appreciate the support. The channel's growing really nicely. We grew 88% last month on this channel, so that's dope. And for all you guys that are getting ready to start your business, or you just started your first business, or you're starting to make progress in e-com, please do not neglect your back end. It's just gonna come back to haunt you, bro. Don't neglect your back end. Get an LLC set up properly. Get your bookkeeping done properly. Get a business bank account done properly. Like, these things are things you can't avoid. So why do them in a poor way? Just set it up properly. Just do the right things so you can continue to have a business that's going to keep making you cash month over month. Like, these things are non-negotiable. You can't not have an LLC. You can't not have a bookkeeper. You can't not have someone to file your taxes. You can't not have a business bank account. You have to have these things. So why not get them all from the same place? Seems like a no-brainer. For anybody who's gonna make that smart decision and start using Doola, code DoolaDennis10 is gonna be in the description if you guys wanna get 10% off. Enjoy that, keep crushing, stay focused on your business. We're dropping videos 2-3 times a week, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon.